Hello, Americans, and welcome to American Geordies. On Leap Day of all days, the YouTube music team played a sour note, appearing before court as members of a union, just to find out towards the end of their hearing that they've all been laid off. Union busting at the worst timing. Let's break down the viral video bit by bit.
If your name's been called and the microphone's free, please come forward. Just state your name for the record.
Hi, my name's Katie Marie Marshner.
Thank you.
Cool.
Please go ahead.
My name's Katie Marie Marshner. I work for YouTube Music in Austin, and I'm a member of the Alphabet Workers Union, CWA Local 9009. As my colleague Catalina Cruz mentioned earlier, our office is comprised of artists, musicians, and music industry professionals in Austin, Texas. Even though we work for 2 Fortune 100 companies, we are paid just $19 an hour at a job that requires a bachelor's degree and 3 years of experience working in the music industry. Everyone in this room can agree that that is not a livable wage in this city.
She's right, that's not a livable wage. And I'll pull up the MIT livable wage calculator that I used in a previous video to prove it. A livable wage for Travis County in Texas, where Austin City is located, is estimated as $23.85 per hour, if you live alone. However, if you look over, livable wage for a person working with a roommate is $16.11 per hour. But it doesn't really matter, because the shocking thing to me is that I'm currently making more than someone with a bachelor's degree and 3 years of experience in their field. Those kind of credentials would usually earn you $57,267 a year in Texas. However, at $19 per hour, calculating 40 hours per week and 52 weeks a year, their annual salary is around $39,520. They're being shorted $17,000 a year.
Until 9:50 this morning, I had a speech written out where I intended to talk about how important the passage of Agenda Item 100 is to our union. However, it seems that yesterday Google reached out to members of City Council requesting that the vote on Agenda Item 100 be delayed. In fact, Google has attempted to delay bargaining with us at every turn in this campaign. Google and their trumped-up Jones Day lawyers can try to delay all they want, but we will not stop fighting and we will not stop winning as we have in every fight with them thus far. The NLRB has ruled on 2 occasions that they are joint employers of me and my coworkers and that they must bargain with us. Instead of following the law, Google refused to bargain with us, instead opting to waste more of our time to have this fight in the DC Circuit Court. For its part, Cognizant also has violated labor law by refusing to bargain and by implementing various union busting policies in our office, such as the clean room policy that leaves us unable to bring our phones, personal computers, pens, or papers into the office. Under this new policy, our union is not even able to circulate petitions in the workplace.
Straight up union busting. She said it perfectly. The first link posted in the description under the video takes you to the National Labor Relations Board website. If you read the block under what rules govern collective bargaining for a contract, you'll learn that these companies are expected to bargain with the union at reasonable times. And quote, "It is unfair labor practice for either party to refuse to bargain collectively with the other. Going on, if it persists, eventually the union can have the NLRB look into it and charge the employer with unfair labor practices." That being said, there is no law that specifically says the clean room policy is against the rules, but the NLRB has the power to determine situations like that as union busting under Section 8 of the National Labor Relations Act, which disallows employers from, quote, "to interfere with, restrain, or coerce employees in the exercise of rights guaranteed in Section 7. Section 7 in question is, quote, "the right to self-organize, to form, join, or assist labor organizations, to bargain collectively through representatives of their own choosing, and to engage in other concerted activities for the purpose of collective bargaining or other mutual aid or protections." Hindering them from signing petitions kind of hinders their ability to engage in concerted actions, as they phrased it. That is union busting.
If the vote on agenda item 100 was delayed because certain council members didn't have enough information, I ask that each member of City Council reaches out to us, the union, not Google executives who are not constituents of yours. Please reach out to us. We would love to talk to you about the issues that we're facing in our workplace. The passage of the YouTube Music resolution is not only important to workers at YouTube Music, but to all workers in Austin fighting for a fair union contract. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jack Benedict. Confess I feel a little bit underdressed, but I wanted to represent our union. We're a small team, but we're very mighty. So, I work for YouTube Music here in Austin, part of the Alphabet Workers Union, and I'd like to thank the council and specifically Councilmember Kadri for sponsoring this resolution and all the other co-sponsors. It's been over a year since we first went on strike over our employers' return to office policy. Now, this isn't because we just didn't want to go into an office, but essentially it was a layoff against a large percentage of our team who didn't live in the Austin area.
Union or not, an employer's right to strike, an employee's right to strike, is also protected by Section 7 of the National Labor Relations Act. There are lawful and unlawful strikes, but I would consider this a lawful strike under the unfair labor practice striker definition. However, return to work policies are currently a loophole not just being used by Google to get away with mass layoffs. Except when a team can spin it to be discriminatory. There are theoretically disabled people working from home who can't get to work at all or have severe difficulty getting to work. Now, these companies that used to have work from home positions could be considered disability friendly. And then to force them to come to work would discriminate against their disability. Disabled employees are protected under the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and can be argued legally. This is a counter loophole to the loophole of return to work layoffs.
Again, in September, we went on strike over our employers' refusal to bargain with our union. To this day, they refuse to come to the negotiating table, and Google still refuses to acknowledge us as their employees, even after countless losses in court which say the contrary. Needless to say, this has been a long fight. We've had many victories, such as unanimously winning our union election and having the NLRB declare Google and Cognizant as joint employers. But we still have work to do. We are disappointed to learn that this resolution has been delayed, but we can wait another month. We've been in this fight for a long time, and as far as I'm concerned, we have the council's support, and we have already won. So the passing of this resolution is yet another victory and another step in pressuring our employers to come to the negotiating table and bargain in good faith. There are less than 50 of us at YouTube Music, and we're taking on two of the largest corporations in the world. So to be supported by the City of Austin and also our allies in the labor community, give us the motivation to keep this fight
Not
going.
to interrupt, but they just laid us all off.
Oh,
Yeah, they just laid us all off.
we just all
Our
got
jobs are ended today, effective immediately.
Wow.
I'm sorry your time's expired, but we'll follow up on this. Thank you.
Mayor, that concludes all the consent speakers.
And then right at the end there, they all get laid off. Protected by Section 7 of the National Labor Relations Act and stated by the NLRB website, employees who strike to protest an unfair labor practice committed by their employer are called unfair labor practice strikers. Such strikers can neither be discharged nor permanently replaced. When the strike ends, unfair labor practice strikers, absent serious misconduct on their own part, are entitled to have their jobs back, even if employees hired to do their work have to be discharged. However, supposedly, they weren't even laid off. Their contract just happened to end in the middle of that hearing, and Google just didn't renew them. that sounds like a reasonable firing until you think about it. Imagine that Google managed to draw it out this long just so that they could wait out the contract. That could be interpreted as clear violation of Section 8 by interfering with their rights. Typically, though, if they decided to strike about this, it would be considered an unlawful strike, since it's unlawful to strike an attempt to get your employer to make certain deals with other employers. However, since the NLRB ruled that Google is a joint employer, they are all also Google employees who just got laid off. The precedent doesn't yet exist for these workers to force Google to renew the contract. But thanks to the NLRB and its joint employer rules, it's possible to argue for it in court. I'm so glad I got to talk about unions. Please share this video to help spread awareness of this issue, and like, comment, and subscribe to help fight for unions and the little guy. Thank you.